using the literacy ladder. So we're going to have a quick look at how to use the literacy ladder, following it step by step. And what I've done is I filled in my simple sentence from one of the Ash stories, which is Ash moved towards the sound. I've underlined the nouns, ash and sound, and I've underlined the verb. And what I want to do is to try and describe the two nouns and the verb. So I've come up with these words. I've decided to go for brave ash, slowly moved, and terrifying sound. So my sentence now is brave ash slowly moved towards the terrifying sound. Now I'm going to switch programs now to use a thesaurus to see if I can find some better words. Now here I've moved to PowerPoint. Now of course you can use a physical thesaurus, you could use Google, you can use different word processing programs. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the word brave, I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to go to synonyms. Now synonyms are words that are similar to the words that we're looking at, and antonyms are the opposite. So synonyms sounds like similar, it's got that same sound at the beginning, so that's how I like to remember it. And it's given me some different words that I could use. So I'm going to go for, instead of brave, I'm going to go for courageous. Courageous ash slowly moved towards the terrifying sound. Now let's see if we can improve the word slowly. And we've got gradually, leisurely, unhurriedly, sluggishly, deliberately. I'm going to go for gradually. Courageous ash gradually moved towards the terrifying sound. Now I like the word terrifying, but I wonder if there's a better word I could use. Frightening, petrifying, scary, chilling, startling, alarming, disturbing, distressing. Now I'm going to go for distressing sound. Now you'll see that I've put my sentence back onto my literacy ladder, and I haven't underlined them in purple to show that they're wow words, but what I have done is underlined them in orange to show that they're adjectives. But we can see if I read my original sentence followed by my improved sentence and this sentence, how it's got better each step. Ash moved towards the sound. Brave ash slowly moved towards the terrifying sound. Courageous ash gradually moved towards the distressing sound. Now I need to look at sentence openings and see what sentence opening I've used or what sentence opening I could use. Now at the moment my sentence starts with courageous, which is an adjective, so I would be ticking this box here. But I'm going to pretend that I've already used an adjective opening, and I'm going to have a go at using a different one. So the next one is verb, so I'm going to have a go at a verb opening, which is one of the more difficult ones. Now for the verb opening, I'm going to have to add some extra information to this sentence. I'm either going to need to make this sentence a subordinate clause at the beginning, or I'm going to need to come up with another action to happen in my sentence. Well, I've come up with another action that could be happening at the same time. And the key for this is to try and think about how your character might be feeling, because feeling is of course an action. Now here you can see I've come up with my subordinate clause, trembling with fear, or in this case, a fronted adverbial, trembling with fear. And now all I need to do is link that to the rest of my sentence with a comma. Now, I could write it all out where it is, and I will do in a second, but actually on my literacy ladder I've got everything set out as I need. Trembling with fear, comma, courageous ash gradually moved towards the distressing sound. So there's no need really for me to write it out again. I just need to remember that this C will no longer be a capital because it's not at the beginning of the sentence, but it's actually after a comma. Then I check my punctuation. Well, I've got a capital letter at the beginning, I've used a comma to separate the two pieces of information in the sentence, and I've got a full stop at the end. The question is, could I use something better than a full stop? Maybe an exclamation mark or an ellipse, a ... And here's my finished verb opening sentence. Trembling with fear, courageous ash gradually moved towards the distressing sound. Now that was a verb opening, but let's go back a step. I've got my sentence, courageous Ash gradually moved towards the distressing sound. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and use a different sentence opening. So I might have a go at an embedded clause. Well, we just came up with a subordinate clause a minute ago. So all we need to do is to put that in the middle of our sentence. So here's my sentence, courageous Ash gradually moved towards the distressing sound. And here's what I'm going to add in. And notice it's inside a comma sandwich, trembling with fear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the beginning of the sentence, courageous Ash, comma, trembling with fear, gradually moved towards the distressing sound. Now notice that I have used my commas to join my sentences together, or my information within the sentence together. Now on the example, it starts with Ash. I've actually put courageous Ash. That's absolutely fine. Okay, it could have just been Ash, trembling with fear, gradually moved towards the distressing sound. We don't have to get rid of the adjective before the noun so that it becomes an embedded clause. It's already an embedded clause opening. So of course I would change my sentence opening type to a purple, and my sentence opening now has changed to become courageous Ash, trembling with fear. Now I'm going to have a look at one more. This time I'm going to have a go at a preposition. The example is, in front of the crowd, comma, the green archer aimed and shot. Think about where Ash is. Now I'm going to go for this preposition, in the dark corridor. Now notice I've underlined the word that is actually the preposition. For our opening, we actually underlined the whole phrase that's explaining where something takes place. I'm then going to add in the rest of my sentence. And I end up with, in the dark corridor, courageous Ash gradually moved towards the distressing sound. Again, I check my punctuation before I write this in my book or type this into my story. Could I have used something other than a full stop? Have I used capital letters? Yep, and yep. So yes for the beginning of the sentence, yes for my proper noun in Ash. Have I used a comma to link any clauses or phrases? Yes, I've got a phrase linked to my main clause with a comma. And have I ended my sentence with a piece of punctuation? Yes. Could I have picked a better piece of punctuation at the end? Probably. I could have used an exclamation mark, or like earlier, I could use an ellipse. Now, hopefully that's given you a good idea of how to use the literacy ladder.